Okay, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Welcome back to the whole person approach. We have completed the heart domain. We have not completed it, but we've started it and we're going to continue it. So hopefully all our staff and our students and our parents are now in the regular habit of practicing gratitude and kindness. And now we are ready to begin the body domain, which is the physical dimension. So we were working on the social and emotional, the heart domain, and now we're going to be working on the body domain, which is our bodily kinesthetic. And then after a couple of weeks, we're going to start with the naturalistic intelligence. So let me go ahead and get started and share my screen. Okay. Close this. Okay, you all can see my screen, right? Okay, so body domain, as you can see in the whole person approach, we have the body, heart, mind, and spirit. We've cultivated the habit of gratitude and kindness, as I mentioned, and now it's ready to take on the body domain, which is the physical dimension. And our theme is to be fully alive and we just have to move it. We have to move our gross motor, limbs and our fine motor limbs, and we're just gonna be fully alive in our body as we practice this domain. Now, the central question is how and why is movement important? How does it shape who we are and how we learn? And what wisdom does the body hold that the mind often overlooks? And sometimes, in nowadays, we're too much in the mind and we're not enough in the heart and we're not enough in the body. And that's why in the whole person approach, we're trying to get everybody to be more, acquainted with our heart and our body. And how I'm going to be talking about in this PPT, very short, hopefully will be done in half an hour, is how educators and leaders and parents can design environments where learning and movement, it coexists. It's a part of our lifestyle. It's not something that we're doing, but it's just a part of what we do every day. Just like we get up and we brush our teeth, and we wouldn't think about going out without, brushing the teeth and using the washroom or doing our basics, right? Of taking it. It's the same like this. We have to give our body that full range of motion. Now, what happens when we neglect our body? When we don't exercise our body, there's a lot of barkat and harkat, right? When we move our limbs and our joints and all parts of our bodies, our muscles, the physical inactivity is going to, impact everything from our strength, our gait, how we walk, our muscle mass. It's going to, in later age, especially for teachers and parents, I want to say it's going to lead to sarcopenia, which is like the weakness of the bones. When we don't have physical literacy, which is how we have to be knowledgeable, how we have to keep our body healthy, then it also overall impacts our entire life. It weakens our confidence, our competence, our motivation, our energy, our endurance, our entire vitality is sucked out when we don't, exercise our body and we neglect our body and our health and fitness. So moving closer to home to the school aspect, I wanted to talk about how physical movement is also playing a very crucial role in learning, because we don't just learn in our head, we learn through the whole body. And when we nurture our bodies, we enhance our capacity for expression, for balance, and we pave the way for a richer educational experience that fosters creativity and engagement. Just imagine if you're, sleep deprived even by one night, how incapacitated you would be the next day. If you have not had, meals for one entire day, the next day, how would you be? Our body has a right over us. We've learned in our faith. There's a hadith about that, right? So we need to attend to our body. We do some basics, but we neglect a lot. And that's why we have so many lifestyle diseases as well. But closer to home, when we're talking about school, there's a lot of learning that happens when we're doing things, when we're touching, when we're building, we're moving. Over the years, as kids start in kindergarten all the way to 10th, they get skilled in sports, in dance, in drama, in crafts and art. Their manipulative skills, get fine-tuned. And at Springfields, we've always preferred hands-on exploration over passive learning. And it's always best to learn concepts that are linked with the body-mind connection, that we do a physical activity or a real life kind of, application of that. And that's what helps us to learn. You all have heard me say many, many times Einstein's maxim, knowledge is experience with information. May I request somebody to just turn off their mic? Thank you. Now, a moving body is also helping your learning mind. It's going to increase engagement and retention of information, while at the same time, it's going to reduce stress and anxiety. It's going to promote well-being. It's going to build discipline, confidence, and body awareness. It also helps strengthen our connection with others, cooperation, coordination, teamwork. Oops, I have the logo on top of that. The power of the body is what it says on top. The body is not separate from learning. It's a vital instrument of thought and expression. And when we move, it's integrating the mind, our emotions, our five senses, and it's going to allow for that holistic understanding. That's why, we have always emphasized learning with multiple intelligence, because the more ways you teach, the more children you reach. And you're creating multiple neural pathways in the brain. When we learn something, not just verbal linguistically, but we are also learning it visual, spatially. We're learning a poem about it or a song about it. So we're learning it musical, rhythmically. Maybe we're enacting it. So we're learning it bodily, kinesthetically. And this whole person approach, we value the body as a gateway to this awareness and, creativity. And when the body learns, the mind actually remembers better. So in the body domain, it actually impacts all four areas, the mind, heart, body, and spirit. So we talked a little bit earlier about how it boosts memory, focus, and problem solving when you utilize the mind and the body together. The body and the heart, it kind of connects to physical rhythm and emotional regulation, empathy, because sometimes if you're, say, doing team sports, you're doing something with others, you're learning, physical education, PT together, you're learning on how to coordinate your timing and everything with others. With the body, it enhances, of course, health, balance, endurance, coordination, agility, so on and so forth. And the spirit, let's say those who are really into their sports, or dance or theater or whatever it is that they're doing, maybe they're doing some craft, that movement almost becomes like a meditation. They're aligning their action with that awareness, and it's like a flow. Your body sort of enters into that flow state. Now, I just wanted to pull out a couple of references from our Holy Quran and Hadith. In Surah Mulk, it says, "It is He who made the earth manageable for you, so walk among its slopes and eat of its provision." So we have the entire earth and its landscapes and topography to explore. Unfortunately, we're kind of resigned ourselves to a concrete jungle, and we're not getting out and exploring nature as much as we should. And what we eat of his provision is more natural, right? Like his provision is more natural, naturally grown, not with additives, preservatives, all this fast food culture that we have. And that's not healthy for us. So we see that, active movement and exploration and purposeful physical engagement with the world is encouraged. And our Prophet, peace be upon him, he said that your body has a right over you. This is the Bukhari and Sahih Muslim hadith. So maintaining physical health, rest, and proper care of the body is also a religious duty. So, how are some practical ways that we can practice? Begin each day with mindful stretches, a walking meditation. I have a little lawn patch right outside my living room. So I like to, like before 10 a.m., if I can, just walk barefoot on my little patch of lawn and just get some vitamin D synthesis going with the sunlight before 10 a.m. It's supposed to be very good. I also listen to a guided visualization and I stretch. I do some yoga asanas and I stretch my body. I kind of experience that full range of motion. And I'm so happy. My mom also does this at like, I don't know, 74 or something like that. She is 74, 75, and she does that for a half an hour in the morning. And I'm so happy. And unfortunately, my father doesn't, and I can see how his body has become weaker because, and I keep telling him, Papa, harkat mein barkat, you have to stretch yourself, and you have to stretch, and you have to walk, and you have to exercise. And the less you do, the weaker your body is going to be. And it's not just, my parents who are aging, but most of our community, unfortunately, we have a huge, like Hyderabad is known as like the diabetes capital. We have high blood pressure, we have diabetes. Why? Because we're not eating right, we're not exercising. So there's very simple little tweaks just through the right food, the right nutrition and exercise that you can actually keep your sugar levels to be optimum. And we don't teach this. So generation after generation, we like, perpetuate the same bad habits and then we suffer and we're not realizing that health is wealth. And this is a religious duty that I feel that we have is to take care of our body. So movement, re-energizes the body and the mind. Whatever you do for your heart, you're also going to help your brain as well. So for educators, we definitely want to integrate movement-based learning, right? Teachers, we do a lot of role plays, simulations, kinesthetic games. We always encourage you to get creative within the classroom. Don't just be in that chalk and talk factory model that's so outdated. And it's been outdated for like over like 30 years. So we have to have some very, community-based learning within the classroom, cooperative learning that the kids are engaging in. And that buzzing classroom is a learning classroom, not one that is passive and just listening to the teacher speak or write on the board. That is necessary sometime, but it cannot be the entire classroom. So we also encourage yoga, martial arts, expressive arts as a part of the curriculum. And we definitely want to have learning and movement flow together in our classrooms and campuses. When we move with intention, we don't just strengthen the body, we also awaken the whole person. And we have to encourage our children to learn by doing, through play, through exploration, through active participation. That gives them that experience, that what Einstein is talking about. Knowledge is experience. Everything else is just information. It is through the exploration and active participation that they actually come to know something. Otherwise, it's just information just going over their head unless they participate in it. So we have encouraged teachers. I've demonstrated myself. Teachers, you would be remembering in workshops. We do movement breaks, right? We do cross laterals. We do those brain gym exercises. Just mindful breathing, mindful stretches. That's also very good in the classroom. We need that. Parents, I encourage you to do the same thing at home when kids are, doing their homework, give them a little bit of a mindful movement break. And that's really important. And that gets the blood flowing and the, oxygen circulating in the body much better for better learning. And then, of course, hands-on learning is always the best way. We as adults have to model healthy and active lifestyles for our children. So whether it's teachers, whether it's parents, I hope you're maintaining a healthy weight. I hope you've not crossed over the border BMI. It's very important that children see adults in their life maintain their health, take care of their health, take time to exercise, take time to stretch, take time to, experience their full range of motion, breathe, eat well, because children will learn by observing you. So this is very, very important. Okay, adults, parents, and teachers alike. We also have to create spaces where the body and the mind can move harmoniously and, learning comes alive. So we're just going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. Actually, we're not starting next week. We're starting the week after that. But teachers will start doing this week. Is we're just going to record some movement. So it could be stretches. Some of you would want to go for a walk in the evening. Some of you want to start your morning with some yoga. Maybe some of you have some fitness regimen that you do. It could be Tai Chi, it could be aerobics, it could be anything, weight training. So whatever it is, recording your movement, how you're moving your body, and things in terms of what we're consuming. We can start with a glass of just warm water with a squeeze of lemon, or we can also research different type of detox drinks. What I have in the morning is hot water with lemon, and I put a spoon of chia seeds in there. And the chia seeds, they get, they pulp up, right? And then that's supposed to be good for your digestion and your gut. So that's a really good thing to have first thing in the morning. Different people have different things. Some people have like kothmir, coriander seeds, methi seeds, different things for different people. But let's kind of encourage that habit with our kids. Let's let them see adults like, okay, we're gonna start with the glass of warm water first thing in the morning. You could use apple cider vinegar. There's different detox drinks you can choose. And then when we eat, we're going to just try to be conscientious of how much of the rainbow we're eating. If you look at the image on your lower left-hand side, it says it's a rainbow, right? So you see the blue, purple, reds, white, yellow, orange, red, green. So these are all the different nutrients, macronutrients, minerals, vitamins that are packed in the different colors. So the idea is the more colors you eat, like red apples, green beans, orange carrots, yellow corn, blueberries, right? So you're eating the rainbow. So this is just an example. It could be on your lunch plate, dinner plate, and also your snacks, right? So just kind of keeping track of whether or not you're filling your plate or your glass with the rainbow. There's a lot of different lovely vegetable juices that you could do. I started juicing maybe about 10, 15 years ago. Sometimes we're not having the time to, have all our vegetables in our food. So it's also very good to, just make a ABC juice, for example, which is apple, beetroot, and carrot. And you put a little bit of ginger in there and you have it, and it's a really, really good, vegetable juice to have, a vegetable and fruit juice to have. So this is what our template is going to look like. Um, be fully alive. So you're just going to write down how you've moved your body, what ways have you exercised in fun ways, and you're going to write down if you've ate the rainbow, how many colors, you've done your detox drink. So just a little recording about how being conscientious of whether or not we're paying attention to our body. I wanted to also add, I'm sorry I forgot, but drinking at least 8 glasses of water. Very important. Do we have to keep our bodies hydrated, and also getting at least 7 hours of sleep. So if we can all sort of take care of our bodies, reset, maybe if we've been off, parents, you also have to be very vigilant that kids don't have phones or devices in their bedrooms at night. When my kids were younger, I used to keep the phones and all the devices outside the bedroom and the dining hall, and it was put away. So they weren't allowed to have it on the phone, because otherwise what happens is kids are on their phones and devices during the night, and then they get robbed of sleep. So that's a huge epidemic nowadays, is that kids aren't sleeping because they're on their devices. So drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, eating the rainbow, adding in a detox drink of your choice, and just healthy, fun ways to move the body, and also remember to move the hands, the fine motor skills as well. Try something different with your hands. There's such a pleasure in actually doing things with your hands. I've got some details in the letter that you're going to be getting through email. In that, you can try, knitting, or you can try, gardening, or you can try, maybe massaging a loved one. Maybe Daddy wants a nice massage, or Abu wants something, so you can just encourage each other to, like, just give each other like a nice back rub or something like that. But use our hands. What are the different ways in which we can actually, use our hands and bring happiness to ourselves and to others? So let's have a great fortnight with this. Remember, the body holds wisdom that the mind cannot always see. When we move with awareness, we honor the whole self. So let every gesture, every playful step reflect the balance of the mind, heart, body, and spirit. Wow. So I think I'm done in less than 25 minutes. I think 22 minutes I was finished. So I think that's all from my side. And you will all be getting a letter. Just to note, teachers, you will start this yourselves, so that you can have some nice anecdotes to share with your students. Starting from November 10th, when we start this with the students, parents, we're making you aware of this. And if the kids have not filled out their kindness templates, we have one more week in which we're doing that. If you have some nice testimonials to share about how your children have become such kinder souls, and please do share with us. We'd love to share that with others, to inspire them, maybe even share it on our social media. But that would be really great. And remember, please, when we start the body, don't forget about the heart. Continue your gratitude practice. Continue your acts of kindness. Let that not leave you. There's a hadith, you should perform as many acts of sadaqah as there are joints in your body. Now that you are knowing that we're starting the body, if you were to start counting all your joints, we've got a lot of joints. So many acts of, we're conscious act. We've done this before during COVID. We would have like little fitness challenges. If you live in an apartment, flats, walk up and down the stairs. Don't take the elevator. So everything that you do, you're doing mindfully, that you're knowing that your body is not going to change overnight, but over a month, over 6 months, over a year, there is going to be a difference when we make these small changes in our body. Reducing our sugar intake, right? Reducing our maida. Anything white is not really good for us. So switching more to whole grain. I don't think we eat enough vegetables. I think if we gave and ate what we just saw in our Quran, the eat of his provision, right? Of God's provision which is natural, vegetation, right? That's actually good for us. So try to skip all the boxed and packaged things. They're full of artificial things and preservatives and additives. It's not good for us. And let's try to be as healthy, vibrant, and vital in our body as we can. Let me just get back to this screen, because this is our vehicle for life, and it's very important that we keep it happy and healthy and vibrant. Okay, so that's all from me. I think if anybody wants to have any closing remarks, we can just let everybody go to start enjoying the weekend. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy and feel gratitude for your body. Feel gratitude for everything that you can move and do with your body and your hands. Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, ma'am, we will definitely see that, we incorporate this in our classrooms as well as in our lives. And we will encourage the students also to practice fitness challenges at home as well as in school. And we will see that, we will use brain gym activities in the classes to get their attention, movement in the classes, in the smaller classes, music and movement, which will help the children to focus better. And definitely, as you said, the movement of the body is very important for a person to refresh himself. And we have seen that, if children come back after a break, they follow better. They concentrate more after a break, after they have, and we will surely share the testimonials, as you said, and take care of our bodies.
Yes,
Thank
the
you.
testimonials are just to follow up and make sure that everybody's doing it. And thank you. That's our senior principal, Humaira, who also happens to be a black belt in karate. I don't know if how many of you know that fun fact about her. She's a black belt in karate. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you, and
Thank
Allah
you,
Hafiz.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.